That was to go live in the woods with no money or anything at all, and just live off the land. So I always wanted to do that, and I did it. And I mean, I really did it. I lived on I had no money, and it didn't even matter, because I'd learned how to live really, really easily. But in doing that, all my fantasies began to come out. You know, and I used to go out and begin to talk to the trees and the lakes and the water, and I began to see that everything was alive and conscious. And the more that I lived out my fantasies, and the more that I did exactly what I always wanted to do, not doing what someone else wanted me to do, but what I really wanted to do, the happier I got, the more excited I got about life. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be so excited I could hardly stand it that another day on planet Earth was here, and I was ecstatic all the time. It was in pure joy. And it just kept getting better and better and better. I got to the place where animals would come right up to me. I could walk right up to deer, right up to them, and look at them right in the face, and they'd look right back at me, and they wouldn't even be afraid. And because I didn't have anything in me that was challenging them or causing fear. And I could walk right past bears, and they would just sort of look at me, and there was no anything. My wife actually would, I remember one time walked right up to a bear that was eating a deer, which is like the most craziest thing you could do by normal ways of thinking, because they'll just kill you. And she walked up to him and sat right down with him and watched him eat this. And the bear didn't even just looked at her and just kept right on going. And even now, when we were out one place, she'd just walk up and pick up a rattlesnake and look at it and put it down with no problem, because there was nothing going on. Well, it was in this kind of state that I reached unconsciously that I began to connect with my lower self, with the subconscious mind. And what I now know is the subconscious mind, my subconscious mind, is linked directly to the subconscious mind of the planet and to all nature everywhere. And so really, when you're really talking about the subconscious mind, you're talking about the consciousness of the planet, the whole being of the planet. First, the coincidences begin to happen. I would think something and it would just happen. I would wish I would see a friend and he would just walk out of the woods. Just one thing after another, after another, after another. And the coincidences began to fall so fast and so quick that I began to suspect that something was really going on with me. I didn't know what it was, but I did notice that this was happening way too often to just be pure coincidence. And then one day, when we had decided to study meditation, one day we were sitting there and we were meditating, and poof, these two big angels appear in the room. They were both about 10 feet tall, and one was purple and one was green, translucent. You could see through them, and they were identical, and they were incredibly beautiful. And the love that was coming from them was just incredible. And I didn't know what it was. The first thing they said to us was, "We are you," on another level, another time. I didn't know what they meant. And I just started, it was so beautiful, and my wife and I both connected with this at the same time. It was so beautiful that we just started following this. And soon after that, the miracles began to happen. Things began to happen that just can't happen, but they did happen. And first one, and then two, and then things started happening every day of my life. For 2 or 3 years there, I watched things happen that just simply can't happen. But it was so much fun, I didn't care. I had let go. I didn't care anymore. I mean, I cared. I really cared. But I didn't care about the old way of thinking. And, you know, it didn't matter to me what anyone thought. This felt right. And I kept going in this direction. And... one of the things they said, which I never understood, was that about the green and purple angel being the earth and the sun. The green angel was the spirit of the earth, which had this sort of a Kelly green, beautiful, clear, pristine color, and that the angel of the sun was sort of this ultraviolet color. And at one point I got it, I understood. I remember they had this experience, and I came back and I tried to put it into words, and it came out into a poem that just said, I am the sun, I am the earth, I am the sun, and yet really I'm neither one. Meaning that I knew that I was even beyond all of that. I understood. And but I didn't understand it in terms of words that I could communicate to anyone. And so I now feel that where we begin in this is through working to bring out the inner child and the inner innocence, and I think that nature is the place. Out of these synthetic environments. Get out of these things that we have created in these rooms and these cars. Get into the trees, and preferably even out of the country if you can, so that you're out of the very mindset that you're normally in. And to begin to interact with Mother Earth again from a whole new way. This is where I would suggest that you begin trying, and not in the actual meditation itself. You can continue to do the meditation and to keep working along those lines, but I think that for many people this is going to be an essential step. Now what the kahunas say is that at one point, after you've made connection with the lower self, with the subconscious mind, what happens is you have to play with it. You have to have fun. You have to enjoy yourself. That's essential. If you're not having fun, something's wrong. Start over again. Go back to go. The having fun it's really, really important. And in fact, there's a movie around this very thing that we're talking about called Hook. Many of you have seen about Peter Pan, and how Peter Pan is remembering his self as a child, and the things that he's going through there, and the things where he imagines the food on the table and all this, for those of you who've seen this. And if you haven't seen this, I highly recommend you go and see this relative to all this. There is a tremendous amount of truth. The whole play between the good and evil and all of that's going on there is really it's a very sophisticated movie. And so you've got to play. And then what happens eventually, you will begin to see the coincidence happen. You will begin to feel the life flow moving through you and the connection. You'll begin to see the auras around people and trees and beings, and the little spirits of plants and the divas that are real beings that become alive, and you can see them, and they come out. There are ultraviolet fields of light that you can see, and all these things begin to start taking place. And then you know you're on the right path. You know for sure. But the thing is about reaching to the higher self is that you have to ask permission from the lower self, from Earth, to connect to the higher self, which in my way of seeing it is the sun. And you have to ask permission to connect from the Earth to the sun, from the higher to the lower self, from the lower to the higher self. But the lower self may not allow you to. It may say, no, I don't want to do it. Let's play some more. And there's nothing you can do. You just got to have more fun. That's all you can do. You just have to keep having fun. And you just have to wait until the Earth thinks you are ready. In her wisdom, as a mother, when she sees you being her child, then she will, at the right time, allow you to go up and make the connection, not toward the Earth, but away out toward the sun and out to all life everywhere else. And there's just nothing you can do. but just move with this. And it's okay. It's the way that it's been set up. I didn't even know I was doing it. I didn't understand it. I was just doing it without knowing why or anything else.